a word which is hard to define. It is always hidden in our daily trade lives, like the joy of small victory, the comfort of shared laughter, or just stay without doing anything. For me, I can always feel it. But to be honestly, as a high school student, there are lots of things that bother me and make me ignore happiness. I think that most of your guys already also have these experiences before. So the first thing I want to talk about here is dealing with interpersonal relationship. Like in the first 20 years of our life, we are inevitably to stay with our friends, classmates, or roommates. So that maintaining a friendship with them is really important. But we all know that maintaining a relationship is not easy. Everyone has his own communication style and personalities. Even a little misunderstanding can drive the estrangement between friends. So I think that most of you guys already has the experiences of losing an intimate friend. That's really a little bit suffering, right? And the next thing I want to talk about is the pressure come from our family or parents. As my friend who was grew up in a traditional Chinese family, she was always forced to get a good grade to be the top student of her class. But unfortunately, she was not that smart. As her peer can get a better academic performance than her, her father will say like, look at other child. You put in the same amount of time and effort, but why others can do better than you? So we can know the result. She got anxiety and depression because of the invisible competition, which inculcated her a sense of loneliness. So as a result, she lost the happiness from the adolescence. And the next thing, which I'm suffering currently, is confused about future life. In this teenager time, we are all on our way to pursue our dreams. But tomorrow is unexpected. Like there are lots of uncertainty factor in our in the future. So that I want to ask a question here for the students. Do you know whom will you be in the future? Like what kind of life will you have? A hard question though. I think that most of our guys already had a plan of it. But as I just mentioned, tomorrow is unexpected. But we have to admit, it is those uncertainty factors make our life more interesting and colorful and give some surprise thing in our lives. So, as I mentioned, all those three things, there are too many annoyances in our life. So how can we feel happiness anymore? The truth I want to talk about here is happiness is always around us, but we haven't discovered it yet. Again, happiness is everywhere around us, but we haven't discovered them yet. Just like the air we breathe every day. But the only difference between the two things is we are convinced air exists, but we don't know where happiness is heading on. Just like one is above the surface, but the other one is deep in nature. Just like the onion, we have to peel back the skin layer by layer to find the essence. So that is the factor of how to get happiness. So now I can share you my own method and skills about feel happiness in both physical and mental way. In the physical side, have you ever heard a term called hug therapy? In the research, it says by cuddling with your intimate lovers, it can promote the release of endorphin, some biology things, and promote the release of dopamine, which is really effective to make our feel happiness. And at the meantime, it will create something called stress buffer effect, and it will release oxytocin in our brain, which makes our whole body and mind feel satisfied. And actually, hug is a mutual reaction. When we give hug to others, we also get an embrace from others. Just like we are hugging our inner child, it can inculcate us a sense of security. I promise, hug is really useful way to let us feel happiness. You can try it with your intimate later. And so now I want to talk something in the mental side to cultivate our ability to feel happiness. But the vital thing I have to mention previously is that we are not forced to feel happiness from everything. The only thing we have to do is to cultivate our ability to create happiness. Just like we should not depend on others to give us happiness, we should depend on ourselves. We can have an example here. If we always concentrate or demand on other or whatever object or person, just something provide emotional value for us. If someday they disappear, then how can we feel happiness anymore? Actually, I want to say the truth here is nothing will stay with us forever. So that in another way, if we can create happiness by ourselves, we got the power from inside out, which let us can extract distinctive happiness from daily trifles. So my first skill in the mental side for you to create happiness is just one word. It's self-acceptance. Accept everything of yourself, both strengths and weaknesses. Um, we have to, like each person has its own unique shape, some sharp, some smooth, but we have to admit it is those distinctive features constitute a complete individual, constitute this gorgeous world. And actually, the large part of growth is to accept the impermanence of the world, accept those loneliness and frustrations. It is them, those upset experiences, give us the opportunity to listen to our inner voice and better pursue ourselves. So that we have to frankly face and change from our heart and find a self-consistent balance point to truly love and accept ourselves. And the next skill is also a word which is called group acceptance. It can be described as trying to find a sense of belonging. Like in this enormous world, our heart really need a place to rest, like home. Otherwise, it will hover in the air as it wants to land but nowhere to park. When we can't find a sense of belonging in a place, we're just like a wandering child, wandering from place to place. So that how can we talk about happiness anymore? When our heart can really settle down and we are belonging to a familiar place that we are in, what can be called of self-acceptance. Group acceptance, sorry. It creates a net that connects everyone in this world together. I describe it as people are connected together, no longer alone. Then happiness will come naturally into our daily lives. Happiness, a word with thousands of dimensions. It is concrete, but it's also abstract. Everyone feels desperate about happiness because it's depending on our own thoughts and choices. But the vital thing I want all of you to bear in mind is we all deserve it. Thank you.